Well, got the truck inside the shop, and now it begins. Already got the badging on there. Now we just gotta put the supercharger on. So that's what I'm doing. Friday. Right now it's about 6 o'clock. Yeah, 5:53. 5:53. Gonna start on it. Going to lay out all the parts on this board besides the supercharger itself. It's just in the back seat for right now. There. So I'm gonna lay out all the parts in that box on that board. Get all that organized, laid out, and I'm going to start tearing into taking all the old intake off of there. All this piping, alternator has to come off, idler pulley, tensioner pulley over there. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll pick you guys back up in a little bit. Alright, so here it is. Everything that was in the box laid out on the table besides a few pieces. There's brackets there for the heat exchanger. Heat exchanger's in that box there. Other than that, everything else is laid out on the table. And it's quite a bit of stuff. So, now it's time to get that old stuff out of there. So, start by disconnecting the battery. But we don't have nothing shorting out or anything. Remove the cover, remove the intake hoses, drain the coolant. Remove alternator, remove pulleys. Belt, obviously. Get going on this. It might take a little bit, but I'll pick you guys back up in a little bit once I get some of this stuff off. All right, see you in a bit. All right, about an hour. Took a little break. Just that was also laying all that stuff out, but I got the intake all off, alternator, tensioner pulley, wiring out of the way. Got to change the filler cap now to a flush one. I'm gonna wipe down all these surface area, get that all ready, then separate the supercharger, then drop the lower on with the gaskets and all. Drop that on, torque it all down, and then I can put O-rings on the supercharger, drop it down. Couple new brackets it gets for the double idler pulleys and new tensioner, new bracket. That stuff on there. Because I'm holding on to all the older parts just in case I end up taking it off to put it on something else, or get a different truck or something. Anyways, I'm about to clean all this up and then get that lower set on there. So I'll pick you guys back up in just a little bit. Well, it's sitting in there. Gotta get it bolted down. Run the other hoses, plug in injectors, and all that good stuff. Still got a table full of parts over there. So, for some odd reason, Whipple does not give you the correct connector to go from the factory line over to this. unless you loosen it up from the back and you're able to pull that hard line up that much. I don't know. So they give you these ones here that connects one rail over to the other one on the front and the back, and they give you this line here that could snap into the rail and shoot back that way, but it's got two female ends on it. Got a female end here and a female end on the truck right there. So I ended up buying a double male connector that would connect these two, but it's going to be a couple days before I can get that, unless I can loosen that line up wherever it's being held onto and bring it forward some, and then it's a rubber hose from there to the metal line and it would bend around. But I'm just going to get it all bolted up, everything plugged in, pulleys going, all that. Then I guess wait on it. I don't know. Unless, like I said, unless I can get that out there and be able to plug it into that fitting on the side, driver's side, main, in. I'm not really worried about it right now. I can get all the other stuff done. Anyways, get some more done. I'll pick you guys back up. I'll disregard that earlier. I found it in a different package here, but at least I have it now. Thought I was going to be having to wait days without my truck. So now that will actually snap into there, snap into the fuel factory, and then put the stainless clip on there. So yeah, they actually do send it, but you just gotta look for all the stuff. There's just so much stuff, kind of get lost in it all. So there's tons of bolts still, like in here. It was in with this package. And with that one was inside of there. So anyways, back on it. Alright, so it's the next day. Parts got a little bit less now, but I got, this morning I finished bolting the supercharger down. I put the brake booster hose on, plugged in all the injectors, put the throttle body on after cleaning it. I am now going to change my spark plugs, so those are done. Then probably start taking out the grill and stuff for heat exchanger. And pulleys, do the pulleys, and hook up those heat exchanger hoses here. Intake, going back to the stock air box, different air filter in there. There's a K&N in there, but the one that it comes with seems to be a lot heavier. So we'll see. A few wiring. It's got to get mounted on a relay, mounted onto that fuse box, and then I got to tap into power. Got a couple plugs over here. I got to plug in evap hose. I got to run. There's a vacuum right here. Gotta find out what it's for. And there's another plug-in on the back side of the supercharger. But let me get to doing this and I'll pick you guys back up. Alright, got it on, got the pulleys on, belt on, alternator back on. new plugs in it. Ordered new plug wires, some red ones, and then some red black wire loom. Got intercooler hoses. This one going to heat exchanger. This one's going to the fill, the reservoir. I got a couple of PCV hoses to hook up. Right now I'm going to put the different air filter in it. I'm going to run the heat exchanger hoses up here in a minute. I pull the grill out, run those over. Hook up the heat exchanger, the pump, and then run the relay and fuse to the power. And getting closer. So change the air filter, put the tube over, and PCV hoses. And then I'll start pulling the grill out and stuff. Change that center bracket. The mount. It must be going off of these two spots here. Is going to be where the reservoir sits. Anyways, I'm going to get back to this and I'll pick you guys back up here in a little bit. Alright, we're down to heat exchanger now. Got all air intake ran, mounted the reservoir. I got the hot side coming from intercooler to the reservoir, and then from the reservoir to the heat exchanger. I'm going to take out the grill, mount it all, and then run the heat exchanger to reservoir. That way I can get the bend right so it's not twisting it up. Hook up the pump on a bracket down there, and then run the wiring. Hook the wiring, the power, and a switched power to it, and then it'll be putting it on the laptop to throw the tune in it. And we can try it. Add oil, obviously, into the supercharger. And cycle all the coolant, get all the air bubbles out. Yeah, getting close. Pick you guys back up here in a little bit. Well, table's cleared off. It's all installed. I put my grill back in, but all installed. Pump's hooked up. Everything's hooked up. Got the factory tune out of the truck. Not knowing I had to send it off to Whipple so they can provide a tune. So now I just have to wait for that. So I can't start it up or anything until I get it. Didn't know, otherwise I would have sent that off already. But it is what it is. I'm gonna put the grill in. And then I'm pretty much just waiting. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. As soon as I get that tune, I'll make another video, get it started up. Hit that subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.